What the fuck is up, everybody? Six Borough Podcast, back at it again. Hope you guys are doing fan-fucking-tastic. Guys, we got a new episode here with Jeremy Puglia coming up. He's a fighter for Triton fights. He's actually in contention for the middleweight title. He's going to be fighting for that belt coming up real soon, June 30th. Let's get through these sponsors real quick and then get right into the episode. Guys, we were brought to you this episode by Municipal Land Survey. You can reach them at 631-345-2658. Contact them for all your land surveying needs. So you got to put up a fence, you want to know what your property line is, all that kind of good stuff. We've used them several times here over at the Handsome House. Can't recommend them enough. Again, that's 631-345-2658. As we're also brought to you by AS Engineering Services. You can reach them at 631-560-0259 and on the interconnected webs at www.asengineeringservices.com. Check them out. They are a full-scale engineering and architectural design company. They do residential, commercial, restores, anything. Check out their website. They have some really amazing designs on there. I highly recommend them. And last but not least, we are brought to you by Made to Thrive, an American t-shirt company. You can reach them on www.madetothrive.us or on Instagram at madetothrive.us. Love this t-shirt company. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts right now. Super comfortable, high quality, American made. It's fantastic. Highly recommended. Check them out. And as I said, we have Jeremy FJ, Fat Jeremy Puglia on this episode. Jeremy's a professional fighter, a bouncer with myself, Skanga, D-Rock. Just a great guy. Former junior hockey player. And real interesting dude. So hope you enjoy it. Alright, vlog guys, let's get into it.
Six Borough Podcast, D-Rock,
Yarbs,
Eric,
our guest,
Jeremy Puglia,
Fat
FJ.
Jeremy Puglia,
FJ.
I was going to throw it in there, don't worry.
or FJ.
Jeremy.
Let's just say FJ the whole time.
Well, I really love that you embraced the name. It makes me happy.
Of course, man.
Tell us how you tell us how the nickname started.
Joe Sholey, brother-in-law. I don't even remember how it came about.
With some of you like being fat, right?
It was about. I remember exactly how it came about. We all train, obviously together, and Joe got you down to Vamos, and you came. I think you'd been training like maybe 2-3 months, and we were talking, we were bullshitting after class, and he's like, "Yeah, Jeremy's real fat," which obviously you're not fat, but he made the joke about
More
it.
about how I love to eat.
Exactly. He's like, anywhere we go, this guy's always fucking eating. He's like, always got a spoon in his mouth. He's always eating something. He's like, so Fat Jeremy, and it just fucking stuck.
Took off.
And then the first fight in AC, the commentator came over and asked
What's your
what's my nickname?
No, what's your fighter nickname?
Yeah, we all looked at each other. Pretty much all knew what it was gonna be. So
I remember the
rocking
conversation. It was FJ or Fat Jeremy, and you're like, FJ.
I know.
So did they announce you as that? At your
Oh
fights?
yeah, every time.
Like I guess I've never paid attention.
I feel like the
before.
Fat Jeremy might offend some people, and people will be
Is it
throwing some hate on me and want me to lose.
Is it Jeremy FJ Puglia or FJ Jeremy Puglia?
Jeremy FJ Puglia, yeah.
I give you credit though for embracing it though.
I don't care, man.
So
I don't even really hear them say it, to be honest. I'm more focused on what I'm about to do.
talking yourself into getting mad so you can actually fight.
Yeah.
You can't. Do you feel like? Well, before we get into that, we should probably
Let's talk about what we're here to
address.
talk about.
Address what we're here to talk about. FJ's amateur MMA fighter. What are you? 5-1, 4-1?
4-1, yeah.
He's 4-1. Got a title shot for the Triton fights middleweight belt at the end of the month, June 30th, at the Westbury Theater. That's a Friday night, right?
Yeah, Friday.
All right. So that's why you're here. Because outside of that, you're not really that interesting.
Sure.
Not anything you can talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's be real.
But so give us the rundown. I mean, how did you end up? You know, these are the questions everybody gets asked, how they end up fighting. So, why are you doing what you're doing besides trying to lose weight?
Yeah, well, that's big. No, when I came home from Boston when I was playing hockey in juniors, I came home and Joe was, engaged with my sister, and he said, "Oh, you should come down." The Vamos came down and started getting beatings from Joe, you, Eric was there once in a while, Spain, all these guys, and I don't know, I liked it. And
Did you have any interest in jiu-jitsu before that?
Nah, I never, ever. I mean, I wrestled a little bit, but that was it. Then George Letter, Tony Balls, Allen, all those guys were down there, Finelli, and just had a nice thing going with those kickboxing fights. It was a nice little brotherhood kind of thing, and then that's how I just started fighting.
Worked out pretty well. I mean, you're 4-1. At least it's something you're pretty good at. I mean, but I feel like hockey players make good fighters. I don't know any hockey players that are sissies. I mean, except for you.
I always say it's the toughest sport.
I think it is.
Football, I mean, is real tough, but there's only 16 games for most teams.
Yeah.
It's 82 for most hockey teams.
It's a lot.
3-4 times a week.
I would say hockey's the toughest. I absolutely agree with
They
that.
play through some fucking injuries. Like,
Yeah, dude.
I've
seen people personally get stitches. I've actually got headbutted in a fight. My first junior hockey fight. My mom was there freaking out in New Hampshire. Blood gushing all over the place. They gave me stitches, and then you just go. Yeah.
What are the juniors?
It's like a good farm league for colleges or different leagues to look at you.
To go pro?
Yeah, pro or to college or lower minors.
Now, you went to Patrick Medford High School, right?
Yeah.
There's no hockey.
There was.
Right? There was?
When I was there, we won states two times.
Get the fuck out of here.
There's a hockey club.
My senior year was the
There was hockey
last.
over there.
My senior year was the last year. 08 was the last year they had hockey.
So you guys won the state championship, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah,
forget this."
you know what it
program."
was? Because after I graduated, there was only a couple other kids that I knew that actually played hockey. Like my team that I had, we had a couple people from Belport and other schools that didn't have a team. So yeah, it wasn't like a football Pat Med kind of thing. It was more of a lot of people didn't even know about it.
Yeah, obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for years.
Yeah.
It was always it was a club team. Like,
Yeah,
it was, they played as the Raiders, but
Basically, exactly.
even
A lot of
from
teams.
when-
They had teams from all over.
Yeah.
So there's who'd you guys play against? Other schools?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I
every
didn't know
school
there
you
was,
could,
like,
every
schools
school you
that
could
had
think
hockey
of pretty
teams.
much had a team. And then we played like Catholic schools like St. Anthony's and St. Mary's and stuff.
How badly did they kill you?
Yeah, their teams were stacked.
Their private schools
Yeah.
are always
Oh yeah.
fuck you.
Well, it's because they recruit them.
I think
and
they
pay
actually
their scholarships and
kicked
shit
them
like
out of the leagues a couple years
Oh.
after I graduated because they just every year it was the same two.
So hockey was your thing, right? You would try. Didn't you? You had a chance to go pro, right? You were kind of flirting.
I
with
mean, I
it,
played junior A and stuff. I mean,
right? I don't know what that means.
it was up there. It was
So,
up there.
Junior A is better than Junior B. I'm assuming.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was good, but a couple people I played with who played with her in the NHL. My friend Keith's a backup goalie on the Devils. There's a bunch of guys that are in the minors that I know and still talk to.
So you were pretty good then.
I was alright.
What position did you play when you played hockey?
Defense.
You were a defense.
Yeah.
Were you an enforcer? Were you like the guy that they're like,
Ty
this
Domi.
guy's like really good at scoring?
I would take a Todd Domi.
They're like, this guy's real good at scoring, Jeremy. Go pay him a visit.
Nah. But there was times where
Get him in the knee.
the guys who were the real goal scorers and stuff you would have to fight for sure.
What soured you on hockey? Because I know, obviously, we're friends. We're all pretty tight here, so I do know a good amount. But I know that you left school, right? You quit.
Well,
left
I
college.
wasn't. I was going to school. The team made you take classes. I was going to Southern New Hampshire University, just to take classes on the side. I was just playing for the junior team. It had nothing to do with college.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you know, it was a really good league, but
How old were you?
I went right after high school. I started playing till I played from like 18 to 20, 21, and you can't play juniors after 21.
Okay.
Either like you'll go to college or a different minor league or something.
So you left.
Yeah, I left. It's a pretty good story. My parents.
I really thought you were gonna be like, yeah, it's a pretty good story, and then just shut the fuck up. You gotta tell it, right?
For Christmas, my parents and my sister Jo, my brother, they all got us a trip to Cancun, and the coach basically said if I go, I'll come back and I won't have a spot. I'll have to work for it, and so
Why?
it was either he was a real dick.
Okay.
He was. There's a couple of times like we lost a game in like Connecticut, and we'd have an hour and a half bus ride back. We'd get back like 12 at night. We'd have to get dressed at the rink because he like owned the rink too and owned the team. We would have to skate till everyone was throwing up and stuff. I was like, that was pretty much. It got to yeah. He was.
So like the fun came out of it. You just, like, fuck
for
it at
sure,
that point.
for sure.
So you went to Cancun.
I think I stayed longer just because I had a bunch of friends there and met a bunch of good guys. But
if you've been playing for a long time, like I know that kind of started happening with basketball with me. Right before I broke my ankle, it kind of started to happen. I've been playing basketball for a long time. I loved it, but then when the fun kind of starts coming out of it, and then you have an asshole coach, it's like,
yeah, for sure.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
You
tanks
just
everything.
yeah, it just
Like I loved playing and I still had fun, but he definitely made it not fun.
Right.
For sure.
So you left, and then what?
Then
a
I
year
started
later?
playing on a team here, but it was a little it was junior B, not A, so it was a little lower on the
so you're sandbagging.
Suffolk PAL. Yeah, basically.
Just like in jiu-jitsu. All right.
Well,
That makes sense now.
I
you
won a
fucking
national
shitbag.
championship with that team, the Suffolk PAL team, and then that season after is when I went up to like New Hampshire, Boston area.
Okay. All right, so you leave, you come home, and then what? How was it? Like a year later, you started doing jiu-jitsu?
Actually, probably like 6 months or a year.
Yeah,
Joe, I went down with Joe, and then
because you weren't even 21. Because I remember like you'd been there a couple months, and then you went for your 21st birthday, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Damn, it's been that long already.
Actually, I remember I met Eric Ott for I think I was my 19th birthday. I had a game in Newark at the Prudential Center where the Devils play. I was with Kaylee at the time. We took a train from there to Pasha in the city, and I met Joe there, and that's the first time I ever met Eric Ott. He was with Denise downstairs in the basement. So he was telling me about him, that he trains with him and stuff.
There's a handful of people who have that same exact story. That train now, they're like, "Yeah, I met Eric out of Pacha before."
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember it.
That picture that you posted not too long ago on Instagram.
That's when you were Wilhelm.
I don't remember you looking like that, but I did see that picture you posted.
It was back in the good old days when I used to go out and I lived the good life, fought the good fight, and I was like king of the party scene, king of the doormen in New York. And
I really thought you were going to say king of the dorks for some reason.
I mean,
is there a better feeling when you could walk past the entire line and just say what's up to the doorman and walk in? And
especially like, a big place like that.
Fuck, like this fucking guy, come on.
Yeah, usually I wouldn't even walk. I would sashay by everyone.
That's like
I'd sashay my way right up front. Sometimes I'd even scoff at the lower level doormen. Ignore them while they tried to hold me back. Slip right through. But yeah, I used to go out a lot, and that is where we met. I actually remember because I think we were waiting to get our coach.
Yeah, it was downstairs by the coach.
Yeah, we were heading out. I think you guys were just getting started, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It was late.
Specifically.
We got there late.
But yeah, and you know what? I was even more shocked to run into Joe there.
Because he's not. You wouldn't think.
I was shocked to hear he was there.
Yeah.
And he'd been there before a couple. He's like, it's not like he only went once
yeah,
either.
No, he likes to, he likes to drink.
He likes to get out and have a good time once in a while.
Yeah.
We saw Joe at Aruga's Saturday night. He came out and met me and Tommy D. He showed up, and I knew he was drunk instantaneously.
That night, I was working with the idiot, and
yeah.
he stopped by.
I'm like,
when he was going to meet you, and he was banged up.
Yeah. I was like, Joe, you drunk? He's like, no, I only had 10 beers. I'm not drunk at all. I'm like, only 10 beers? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, right? I'm like, Joe, you're the only person in this bar who doesn't think you're drunk. And he was like, nah, I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, all right. I mean, he wasn't belligerent or anything, but I was like, dude, you're definitely hammered.
He was too drunk to be belligerent.
It's the dad, man. It's the dad in him. He doesn't get to drink that much anymore.
So
he's playing catch up.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
You gotta squeeze it in when you can.
Well, I'm sure he'll squeeze it in at New Orleans for a bachelor party.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting weekend for you guys, huh?
Skanga's coming.
Yeah.
Skanga misses zero opportunities to party.
Yeah.
Zero. You won't catch Skanga passing up on
Like,
opportunity.
we're going to Springfield, Ohio for the bachelor. Okay. I'm in. You're boozing? Yeah, I'm in.
So in a weird twist of fate, you met Aragot years ago randomly at Patra, and now you are fighting for his former title.
Yeah.
Who would have ever known?
I'll tell you what, I was waiting until he gave it up because I wasn't going to fight him.
Yeah, so that's my my former middleweight belt. I won it, and I defended it once.
Yeah.
It's time for me to move on, and now it's up for grabs. So FJ's first in line.
You know,
Be a good one too.
I feel like you're the only person who defended their belt in that organization. Everybody else wins the belt and either never fights again or goes pro immediately. You defended the belt.
I did.
Yeah, I don't.
Who else defended the belt? Nick Fury defended his
Castro
Yeah,
did,
Castro did a few times.
and he
Did
lost
he?
that one time, and he's trying to fight again.
Right.
belt. No, he didn't
Castro.
defend the belt.
No?
He defended a belt on the night that you...
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he lost that night, though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so at least he did take the fight to defend it, though.
Yeah.
All right, you and
He'll
Castro.
he'll take a fight. No matter
Actually,
what.
you know what? I thought he won that fight anyway.
I'm not going to lie. I feel obligated a little bit. Like if you win a championship belt for an organization,
Yeah, I mean,
you should at least give them at least
definitely,
one more
definitely.
fight. Give them the opportunity to let their next biggest star have a chance to win that belt. And I mean, if you could defend it 2 or 3 times, that's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, you should at least defend it once. Like I've seen that too, where a lot of guys will win a belt, then they go to another organization and they win a belt, or they might lose in the other organization and then they try to come back, and you're like, yeah, but you lost.
Yeah. And it lends stability
Yeah,
to the organization as well.
It does. It does. Like I don't really agree with those guys that jump around. They fight with one show and then they fight with another show. I mean, it's one thing if it just doesn't line up with your schedule and you're trying to get work in, but it's another thing if you're just one of those guys that's just out there whoring themselves out, trying to win belts everywhere, and then never giving them people opportunities to win them back until the promoter gets fed up with you
And just
after you
strips
stole
of it.
for a year, and then they have to give it to somebody else.
Yeah. So is this true? You probably know. As I saw Nick, and he was telling me how he's trying to get his promoter license for pro fights.
Yeah, that's actually in the works right now. I
That'd
know
be
that,
awesome.
Yeah, Triton Fights, they're talking with the Athletic Commission in New York State, and they're hoping to put on a professional show or a combination amateur show with professional fights.
Like a ring of combat kind of thing.
Yep, like a Ring of Combat. Like Ring of Combat used to do that. Maybe
Yeah.
six amateur fights and 4 pro fights, something along those lines is what
A
he's
lot of
hoping for.
shows do still do that. I know CFFC does it still.
Oh, do they? I didn't realize
Yeah, they split
that.
their cards, yeah.
It's a lot to have 4 pro fights. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, at this point right now, I know there's some insurance requirements in New York that they're trying to figure out some possible workarounds for, or working with the Athletic Commission to see what they can figure out. But aside from that, that's really the only thing standing in the way, and I believe that they'll be able to straighten it out by the fall, hopefully.
That'd be pretty
yeah,
awesome.
that'd be awesome.
Speaking of which, so what's your plan? You win the belt, you defend it,
Yeah.
or do you go pro?
Nah, I gotta have a couple more. Be comfortable before I do that.
We're gonna get some of the highlights up on our podcast, on our Instagram, and probably our Facebook. Your last couple fights, your last 2 fights, you definitely had some highlight-worthy clips floating around.
The WWE.
Yeah,
slam.
you have the WWE slam, where you just basically picked that guy up, and you didn't even WWE slam. You just you were just disgruntled, threw him on the floor
Honestly,
like a child.
yeah.
Yeah.
You threw him like luggage. Like when somebody comes home from a shitty flight and a shitty vacation and throws their luggage on the floor.
You were like, you got mad. You threw it like somebody else's luggage that you don't like. Like, fuck this guy. So that was like pretty badass. And then the one before, like the fight before that, you had your opponent pushed up against the fence. You were just like, I'm gonna push my forearm in your face, and I'm gonna beat you up like this is like a schoolyard battle, and you KO'd him.
That's
it was pretty much
Rick
like
Schaefer helps with that too, man. We
I
worked
felt
out
like
a lot.
it was like you just got mad all of a sudden because you were like calm, but the intensity level wasn't up, and then all of a sudden he hit you. And you realized he hit you hard, and then you got mad, and you're like, I've had enough of this shit.
You know, I think I started out real slow that fight, too, because it's been a while since I fought before that. And
yeah. What was it, 2 years, right?
something like that, yeah. I tried to fight like 3 times, and, you know,
yeah,
before that, but yeah,
we all know how that goes.
You definitely know how that goes.
It's very hard to stay busy sometimes in the fight world. People backing out, getting hurt, whatever.
Go all the way to AC.
Tell that story.
That was the first time you fought in AC, right?
Yeah. Me and FJ.
I don't remember how long ago that was.
This was Memorial Day, 2013, so it was about 4 years ago. It was Memorial Day weekend. We were getting ready for a fight. So the night before weigh-ins, we drive down, cut all our weight. The hotel we stayed in didn't have a sauna. So me and Jeremy put on every article of clothing we had and turned on the sink and the shower as high as it would go with the hot water.
Put towels by the door to block it.
Yeah. And got in there jumping rope, shadow boxing, pummeling to cut weight. So we cut the weight, we make our weight. We go down to the weigh-ins. I weigh in. Jeremy weighs in. His opponent shows up. And didn't even try.
He was real fat.
He was real fucking fat.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even try to make the weight. His coaches were like, look, it's not happening.
0.5. And they gave him an hour and a sauna.
Yeah. He still had an hour to go lose. I think it was 1.5, actually.
No, it wasn't. It was like half a pound.
Oh, really?
It was It was like ridiculous. And he was trying to say sorry as he was eating a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Which he offered to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can really tell you.
I remember my fiance Kaylee and my dad were like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" They were flipping out. That's a 3-hour drive, all the money to stay in the hotel.
Yeah, you booked your hotel.
For the
You had
tickets.
friends and family down there. It worked out.
At least we got to see you.
Yeah, and then you got my mom and my brother in for free.
Yeah.
You told the promoter, like, yo, this is my family. They drove all the way down here. They didn't have the ticket yet. Like, and now I'm not fighting. He was like, just let him in. And that was my mom and my brother, who surprised me.
Beat the shit out of you. Like, you let them in, or you get fucked up.
That's kind of like really basically what was said. Because he looked at the guy, he's like, I did all this fucking work. He's like, my family's here. They drove all these hours, and now I'm not fighting because of him. They're not paying for their tickets.
My brother still
remembers
I even
that.
tried to grapple him, and they wouldn't even.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I can't do that because
my Nick from Jersey. I guess that kid did it a couple times, so he had enough.
Well, even still, the coach didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Remember, he's like, "Oh, my jiu-jitsu coach isn't here." Like, what do you mean your jiu-jitsu coach isn't here? Because I'm not going to grapple without my jiu-jitsu coach. It's like, you're here for an MMA fight, you fucking dick.
Yeah.
Like, did you think that it's not part of it? Like, that guy was a fucking ass.
Yeah.
That was one of the most disrespectful things I'd ever seen because he didn't even try.
What was his name? Let's put him on blast.
Call him the fuck out.
Anthony Papillo or Papello or something like
Get
that.
that spelling. I'm going to look him up on Facebook and blast
He's
him.
from Long Island.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was from, I forgot what
What gym did he
gym.
train at?
It was like a Sambo kind of gym.
Oh.
I can't, and he was like 2-0 too, so I figured, he would take the fight. I was only 1-0 at the time, I think.
Yeah, when you
Or
got a
maybe
guy
2
that
now.
has like 2 or 3 MMA fights, you're usually not worried about them backing out.
100%. Especially that I didn't really know people backing out at that point because I was still new to fighting. Like, But I guess he was 2-0 for a reason because he picks the right opponents, I guess.
That's like a real big problem in the amateur fight game. Is people pulling out real close to the fights. I've had at least 4 or 5 fights fall through. I think 3 fall through in a row within 2 weeks of the fight. And for various reasons, like people saying they get hurt, people saying that, oh, I got sick, and then sometimes you hear through the grapevine that they just didn't want to fight you, or they saw a highlight video of you, and then all of a sudden they change their tune and they like make up an injury. But usually they like think about it for like a week or two, and then they make up an injury, which is like even worse.
Yeah.
And it's just a terrible problem that a lot of amateur fighters have to go through.
Sure.
I had a similar experience in a kickboxing fight once.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, well, I showed up, and the other guy showed up. We both did the medicals and weighed in, and then the other guy left, and then just didn't come back. When it was time to fight.
Was that like Puglia show or something?
Yeah, it was at one of like the local, what are they, Top Kick, Joe Puglia shows, and it was some dude, Nabril, I don't remember his last name, Nabril James or something like that, and he was from an upstate kickboxing gym, and both he came down with another fighter. They both decided to leave after the weigh-in and the medicals and go home. So I'm standing there and some like other dudes standing there, and like all of a sudden it's like right before the fights are about to start, and neither one of our opponents are there, and I'm like calling up my friends that are driving over from like Staten Island, like, turn around.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Turn around and go home. My opponent didn't come. Don't come all the way out here.
That comes back to them probably weighing in and taking Instagram pictures so they could say they fought and then, disappear.
Everybody wants to be a fighter on the gram, but nobody wants to do the fighting.
Nobody wants to do the fucking training half the time, let alone the fighting.
Yeah, that's true too. That's why I'm, I don't want to talk about my opponent and stuff, but that's why I'm not worried about him backing out and
he's a solid
not
dude.
being ready. I'm definitely excited about that. It's nice to not have to worry.
No one's backing out of a title fight.
No,
unless
but
there's a good reason, So it's good to be.
Sure.
You're in a good spot. I have to say, I think between the three of us, we might have the most bad luck between us with people. I had 3 fights in a row fall apart on me.
I've had
the last time was actually my fault because I did get injured, but the 2 before that.
So it doesn't count as like 3 then. It counts as like you had 2 fights and the third one was your fault.
Well, yeah, but they still all fell apart in one way or another. That's my whole point. And then, you were my very first fight for Triton. Well, back then it wasn't Triton; it was Platinum Gloves. My very first fight for Platinum Gloves, I ended up fighting a random opponent a weight class up because I had 5 different opponents all fall out up until the day before the fight.
Yeah.
And they found the promoter, Nick, who's a solid dude. I got to give Nick credit. He does try his damnedest to get you an opponent. And he's like, dude, I found a guy. He's willing to come down and fight. He had a fight booked for this night at 155. It fell apart. Are you willing to fight him at 170 because he doesn't know if he'll make the weight now or whatever? I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, that happened to me. What, February was that? When I didn't get to fight? I think it was February 28th I was supposed to fight or something like that. The one before the last one.
I don't remember.
It was in February sometime. It was in between the 2 times we fought.
Yeah, no, gotcha, that February card. I remember.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That kid, Lewis,
backed
out like the Monday before. 4 days before the fight.
That's
and then Nick, I mean, like you said, Nick is a good guy. He tried to get me a bunch of guys.
That card was cursed, man. That card was actually, I was supposed to fight, and that's when the doctor's office fucked up my blood work, and then I got elbowed the night before the weigh-ins and had to get 3 stitches, and they wouldn't let me fight.
And when we're saying Nick, we're talking about Nick Canobio. He's owner and promoter for Triton Fights here on Long Island. Former guest, probably future guest. We'll definitely have him back again.
He is a real good guy.
And there's not too many solid promoters in the fight game.
No.
And everybody knows, like, I fought for a multitude of shows, and there's probably only 2 shows that I really, like, had, like, a decent feeling about the promoters. The 2 big shows in New York, like the NYFE, those guys are all right. They're not looking to screw over anyone. And then obviously Triton Fights, where we all fight now. Nick's an awesome promoter, and then he's got 2 partners who are both pretty solid dudes as well, as far as like holding up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, it's good to fight in an organization that not only are they focused on doing right by the fighters and putting the best possible matchups up, but they're also focused on making their brand good. Like, it's a very well run show compared to most amateur shows. Like, there's shit shows, like they don't start on time and people are backing out, or there's one fucking ambulance, so if anybody has to leave, the show's delayed for 4 fucking hours. Like, they're on top of their shit. They keep it running pretty well.
Last time they had like 4.
They had a bunch.
Yeah.
One of my kickboxing fights.
That one kid got fucked up.
One of my kickboxing fights, a kid had a seizure backstage after his fight, and they had to take him by ambulance. And I had no idea that this was a rule.
It's a 1 ambulance show.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
If the ambulance is gone, you can't put the fights on. I never knew that until that day. So
they call that like a 1 ambulance show, and if you're fighting in one of like the smaller shows, even some of the smaller, I'll say shitty pro shows, and somebody gets knocked out and they need medical attention, the EMTs put them in the ambulance. Next fight can't go on until that ambulance gets back. And I remember being at a show in North Jersey at one point where this is actually a Ring of Combat event way back in the day. And at Rexplex, I think was the name of the place. It was like a fun. It was like a fun. It was like a fun. Oh, it was super scary.
I know exactly where that is.
It was like a fun zone. They had like indoor archery. There was like a skate park.
It's 2 levels.
Yeah, I just remember it being like a total zoo. There were like little.
It's in
kids
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Around. Yeah, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Oh,
yep.
Jesus fucking
I
Christ.
only know that because I went to go see a bunch of hardcore shows there. They used to
they'd have that there. That sounds about right.
Sounds like a shitty sports
Oh,
club.
Well,
Well,
Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Yeah, well, there was a full-blown riot at the
totally.
one that we went to. It's called Hellfest.
Oh, that sounds real fun.
And there was a full-blown riot at this one. This was like 2004.
Did they have 1 ambulance there, and then they had to stop the show until the ambulance came back?
There was a showstopper with this one, man. There was a people were tipping over the bleachers. Like, it was fucking wild.
This show that I was at, the show probably lasted about a solid 10 hours because like 3 people got knocked out and needed medical attention, and every time it would be like an hour to an hour and a half before the ambulance got back to the show so they could do the next fight.
At that point, I'm
I'd
probably
just
not
leave-
fighting.
It was horrible. We drove all the way there to see this guy, local guy, another Patchogue local, Jordan Pergola, who was doing pro MMA at the time. We went to see him fight, and I think he was fighting this guy Mike Stein. I don't remember specifically. That was like a Tiger Showman guy, but I remember he was the last fight, and by the time he fought, we were like exhausted. They kept bringing these ring girls out, and they were all busted, and people were booing them the whole time.
I've yet to see these ring
No. You don't understand how busted. They were like so busted that people were throwing stuff at them.
Wow.
And it was hurt. They were from some strip club, and they kept saying, "Oh, come by and stop and see us at the strip club." They had like signs, and I just remember thinking, like, I should never go to that place by accident ever again. If you girls work there, this is scary. Like, they were definitely
Like
like
C Squad from the
no,
strip club.
I don't even know what they were. Like, they couldn't pay me to give me a lap
Tuesday
dance.
afternoon.
Not even Yarborough. I couldn't even tell you how bad. Like, you wouldn't even believe it that they were strippers.
Did they have a mustache like his?
They may have. They had a mustache. They had leg hair. One of them had armpit hair. It was like pretty bad. They were like the types of strippers you'd expect to see up in like Alaska, up in like the Yukon territory of Canada, in like a mining town.
A lot of moose knuckle up there.
So we got you a fight now coming up that's definitely going to take place.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you thinking? You've been doing a lot of prep work with teams that you've been working with.
Rick Schaefer at No Limits. He just opened up, you know.
Still
have
guest.
Yeah, real good guy. Working with Dave and other guys at Vamos, and I'm working with George Dimitri at CrossFit Suffolk Spartan Performance over on Vets. I don't know why I ever stopped going to him, to be honest.
Well, tell George I'm coming for him because he chewed into my coaching last night. Made you and Ryan late.
He didn't make me run late. I just
kidding.
I just couldn't walk for about 20 minutes after. I had to help Ryan off the ground. I can't get up.
Who's Ryan?
Ryan Jarina. He's fighting June 30th.
Oh, he's fighting too?
Actually, yeah. I talked to Nick, and he had an opponent from
Nice.
Henzo's in the city.
Oh, cool.
So
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty for Ryan though. He's got to fight the novice rules.
But doesn't he only have like 1 or 2 MMA fights?
He has 2 fights,
yeah.
but the rules you have to have 2 wins.
Because he has the no contest.
Oh, one of them was a no contest?
Yeah.
The last one. Which
okay.
So he's got to fight novice rules, which whatever, but it's like going backwards because he already fought twice pro rules, and now it's like that sucks.
Oh yeah, with the new sanctioning, I forgot about that.
Oh, why he didn't have to do the shins?
No, because now that it's newly sanctioned, the rule is you have to have 2 wins to fight pro rules. Otherwise, you have to do the shin guards and no ground and pound to the head on the ground.
Yeah, that'll definitely work against him as far as his wrestling goes.
Yeah.
But you can eke out the decision real easily still.
Yeah.
He's pretty solid. I don't think he has to worry about it.
Ryan is very good,
As much shit as he talks.
Yeah,
I'd like to smack the shit out of him.
I spoke to him about his shit talking. Ryan is really good.
I love him, but
I love Ryan. He's a young kid too. He's barely 20 years old. But he's been training since he's like 13 doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling since he's like 5 or 6. And I'm like, I pulled him aside. I'm like, I feel like I created a monster, man. I'm like, I've been giving you compliments and telling how good you're going to be for years that now it's like fully gone to your head. I'm like, you got to stop talking shit.
I've never heard him talk shit
he talks
before.
to everybody
to
now.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody.
To Luigi, to Alex, to everybody. He's constantly talking shit. He's constantly talking shit. I mean, he's not... He's not trying to be a jerk or anything like that, but it's just like...
It's all friends, Yeah.
It is. But we made a monster out of him. Now I gotta start telling him that he's doing things wrong.
Treat him like a girl.
Yeah.
Take him down a peg.
But another weird twist is that you're fighting another gym mate of ours.
Yeah.
You're fighting Vinny from Belmore, where me and Eric also train. So.
And Rick.
Oh yeah, and Rick as well. That's right. Yeah. So two of your 3 close friends of yours and training partners are also train with Vinny.
After we do what we got to do, we'll have a beer together, all together.
Yeah, it's not personal. But.
Not at all. No.
Realistically, it's a testament to how good our group is, because although we're like a little bit segmented and some of us train at this gym or that gym, we all have this connection, and it seems like we sort of crank out the best guys within our little incestuous batch of friends. I mean, as soon as I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna go pro. It's like every single guy that's gonna fight, that wants to fight or wants a shot at the belt, is somebody that I know. And I'm getting like telephone calls and like people like, well, Eric, when you gonna go pro? Eric, when you gonna go pro?
I'm pretty sure I asked when you're gonna go pro.
Yeah, I'm like, I just won this thing like yesterday. Like I didn't even change my clothes yet. I was walking out of the cage and Jeremy was like, when you gonna go pro? I went back to the locker room and Vinny DeRiso's like, hey Eric, I heard you're thinking about going pro. I'm like, who'd you hear that from?
I heard it from Jeremy upstairs.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think it's a testament just like, because if you look at our group, I mean the skill level that we all have, I mean we're definitely getting wins on every single show that we have guys fighting in, and our guys are sort of like moving around. Like we started off fighting like sort of like wherever, fighting in Atlantic City. I did one up in Westchester. Then like as the next show progresses and becomes the big show, all of our guys are moving to whatever the big show and the best show is at the time.
Yeah.
And it just seems like, I mean, within a few years, we're like the next group coming up.
Yeah, I never actually thought about that. It's a really good point.
I feel like you see a lot more people and stuff too, because it's legal in New York now. So, like the UFC coming up at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
What is there, 4 or 5 guys from Long Island fighting?
I think there's more than that.
Everybody, there's
like Bermudez, Wade, LaFleur, Weidman.
Brian Kelleher just got into the card after his huge fucking win in Brazil.
Maxim?
Yeah,
Brian Kelleher, he's at Maxim. He comes down to Long Island MMA like usually like once or twice a week to get ready. It's good.
I definitely like to go down there after this fight in Belmore.
You're not allowed.
I have to.
Sorry. I tried to get. It's funny because I was trying to get you down to Belmore to spar with me.
Yeah. So it was Rick too. Rick said
I thought it would have been.
He's like, there's a couple of good guys down there around your week to go spar.
Yeah.
And then the next week, Nick was saying, I have a guy for you to fight.
That's sort of the problem too. I mean, at a certain point, they're going to have to start bringing guys in, and they sort of have already. They bring guys in from Jersey, guys in from Pennsylvania, guys
Upstate.
from Connecticut, upstate.
That's when it gets scary too, if you know if they're gonna show up or.
Yeah, that's the other thing. These Long Island guys, like, I don't know. People always like say like we're a little egocentric. But Long Island's a tough place to live, and we're like here to scrap. I mean, everybody I know, everybody in this room. There's how many of us? 2, 4. There's 6 of us. Every single one of us has been in a street fight. Not like 1 or 2 either, like a whole bunch. And I mean, you get some guys, like we had a couple guys come down from Canada to train with us at Long Island MMA one day, and they were asking us like, how is it that Long Island, this island that's like maybe like 20 miles wide by like 60, 70 miles long, you guys got like almost like a dozen guys in the UFC and Bellator. There's guys at like in like every single combat sport at every single weight class. Like what makes you guys like to fight so much? And I don't know, like I'm like thinking like I don't know, we just like everybody here has been in a street fight. Like what do you mean? I'm like I don't know. Like, how many street fights have you been in? I'm like, I couldn't even tell you. I'm like, not even trying to brag. Like, every single person that's in an MMA gym has been in, like, so many street fights, they probably can't even remember the majority of us. Like, none of us are martial artists that are like, oh, I'm trying to test my skills. Like, everyone's just like, yeah, we got in a whole bunch of fights.
Yeah, I mean,
we really liked it. We were pretty good at it. This MMA thing came around.
I mean, it's true. It's just kind of part of the culture. Like, I remember my friend Justin moved up to Boston, and he worked with his other kid, Joe Wise, who we were friends with. Now, Joe is not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination, not a fighter, nothing. And he was a bouncer at a bar up there. And I'm like, how the fuck are you a bouncer? And he's like, it's Boston, dude. Like,
yeah, it's like, completely different.
Like,
it's a whole different fucking
He's
world.
like, there's some fights, but it's like not like Long Island. And up until this point, I hadn't really done as much traveling out of the state because I was still pretty young. I think they're a year older than me, so I think I might have still been in high school at this point. And I remember traveling to other states and like seeing some of the nightlife, and I'm like, yeah, so like bar fights are just part of the atmosphere on Long Island. It's just part of the culture. It just is what it is, and it's just known by everybody. It's not like that anywhere else.
Everyone in this room bounces or have bounced.
Yeah. We're all bouncers and fighters, and it's just part of the culture. It sounds bad when you say it.
It does,
but it just is what it is. Like when you have this many people.
I was gonna say there's what, close to 5 million people between
Suffolk and Nassau.
And Nassau.
Yeah. 5 million people on a tiny little island.
Like,
2 counties.
But same thing with Hawaii.
Temperature's gonna fucking rise.
I think it's any island almost now I think about it, because Hawaii's known for scrapping. Street fights happen in Hawaii all the time. There's a bunch of Hawaiian fighters.
Yeah.
Like the Pacific Islanders, all those Hawaiian.
we all like to tussle. That's what
they all like to tussle.
From an island, you like to tussle.
Yeah. Island people from an island just like to get after it. Apparently, like think of all these Samoans and the Pacific Islanders. They're all like warrior culture stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're all brawlers and fighters.
That's just bred into their fucking DNA.
Right, but it's still it's just that connection's there with islands. I don't know what it is. There's got to be something to that. I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Research.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Maybe if we had a research team here tonight, Steve, we could get some of this shit up. Shout out to Steve. He's sick. Get better, bud. But yeah, I don't know. I never really, I kind of never really put that together. I didn't realize how, it's just
how violent the culture we're from.
Yeah,
I don't know. I remember going out as a kid, and we used to have the like 18 and over nights where they'd put an armband on you if you were to drink, and like if you went to an 18 and over night and there was only like 2 or 3 like giant fights. That would be like surprising.
100%.
You'd expect to see at least 5.
right.
Crazy Donkey.
Yeah, Crazy
Dude,
Donkey.
I was going there when I was like 18.
Spats.
It was
Eclipse.
Wall Street.
Yeah,
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Was that over in Smith off 347?
Yeah.
Brawls there all the time.
What was it before that?
There was
There was
like
something
Viper
else.
Bar. And,
There's something else in between.
Bianco.
Yeah, Bianco.
And you just expect, like, if you were going to go out, you'd be like, all right, I'm going out. There's going to be some fights. If you were, like, with, like, a group of your, like, friends, and somebody was like, yo, come over here, and you got, like, the nod, you just were like, all right, put my guard up.
Shit's going down.
Something's about to happen. Somebody's giving somebody, like, the wrong look or something like that.
You and I experienced that not too many years ago. I mean, when I ran into you that time at the View.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't even my problem. That wasn't even my problem. I was
You?
just like...
Yeah.
It's not even like a...
Yeah, but that just shows
That just
you
shows,
what
yeah.
it is. Like, me and Tommy D rolled in.
We're at a 30 and over venue
Yeah.
for like older cougars and stuff like that.
This was probably 2010, maybe 2011ish.
Yeah.
And me and Tommy D and a couple of my friends roll in there, and I see Eric. I say what's up, and he's like, "Stay here." I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "We're gonna get into a fight, so take your sunglasses off."
Tommy D, take your fedora off.
Tommy D, you better put your suspenders in your pocket. You don't want anyone grabbing them.
Tommy D, man,
I love that kid, man.
he did some verbal jiu-jitsu over the weekend.
Yeah, he almost got into a beef, and I didn't even know what was going on. With the most unconfrontational looking person I've ever seen in my entire life.
So we're at the tap room. So we're sitting at a table in the tap
A very
room.
non-confrontational hipster spot.
I don't call it hipster, but
I've never seen a fight there in my entire
Not once ever.
I've never seen a fight there ever.
I've never.
not once ever. It's
Never.
definitely a low key spot. There's not fight. There's not that's why we go to that spot because it's very.
I feel like everyone that goes there knows somebody that works there or like has some kind of connection to them.
I don't think I've ever even seen like a shouting match or like a spat between like a boyfriend and girlfriend. Nothing.
Nah, I've seen-
You've been in a shouting
Yeah,
match there. Actually,
Never mind. I didn't see it though. I saw
you're the
it.
common denominator to all the issues that happen.
Ah,
Actually, it's me and you because
Yeah.
I was involved in that one too. But we're upstairs. We're sitting down at a table, and Tommy D's standing, and then it was Mike Finelli.
We're talking about former podcast guest Tommy DiGiozia.
Yeah,
He's a photographer and a writer.
awesome dude.
He's the least confrontational person that you'd ever like meet.
Yeah,
Nice, one of the nicest
nicest
Yeah,
guy in the
such a
world.
nice guy.
Just wants to have fun.
And so he's standing up at the table, and then it's Mike Finelli, myself, Eric Ott, Luigi, and Tony Bowles, and another past podcast guest, our buddy Steve Zorzana, was there.
So basically, we have like a whole bunch of people that all fight or all train. Everyone, I'm the only one without tattoos there out of the whole group. We don't look like exactly the type of group that you'd want to pick a fight with. We look like a bunch of criminals, actually, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Compared to like the hipsters that go to this place.
Well, and compared to the two kids that started with Tommy D, these kids, they just,
Stereotypical beta males.
yeah, they weren't very imposing or tough looking. And I'm not saying that means anything because you don't judge a book by its cover. Eric Ott looks like a pussy, so.
I am what I eat.
But I don't know. I wasn't impressed. And so I guess Tommy D was looking at some girl that he had been flirting with, and I guess maybe this guy didn't like it or whatever. But Tommy said he was looking at the girl. The guy looked at him and was like, "The fuck are you looking at?" And so Finelli had overheard this, and he turns to me. He's like, "Yo, this guy's flexing on Tommy." And I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "This fucking loser with the long hair." And like before like anything could happen, all of a sudden they're shaking hands and the kids fuck off. I'm like, "Tommy, what'd you say?" He goes, the guy looks at me and goes, "What the fuck you looking at?" And he goes, "Well, I'm not looking at you." And he's like, I guess the guy said something else, something passive aggressive, and Tommy looked at him and was like, "Look, man."
Oh, he's like, am I gonna have to fight you or something like that? It was something along those lines.
No, Tommy says to the guy, he goes, "Listen, man, I train, I do jiu-jitsu, I don't want to fight you because I'll hurt you." And the kid said like, "Oh, I respect that, man," and shook his hand and fucked off.
And they like actually like left.
Yeah, they left. They completely left the bar.
How do you recover from that?
I don't
You
know.
don't just leave.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
kid made the right. Tommy would have wrecked that kid on his own, but like, you know, it wouldn't have been a good night for him and that kid's friends because of all of us at the table. And then Eric stood up and
I didn't do anything.
yes, you did.
I did not.
Not after he left, but you got up and were like,
Well, I was trying to find him. I
Yeah.
wanted to like look at him because he had like a real bad haircut.
you had a couple choice words that we won't repeat. Eric Ott does what Eric Ott does verbally, and I give Tommy credit though for how he handled that situation because I don't know that I would have responded that well. I don't know how I would respond at all. I was thinking about this. I've never had that happen to me.
I would have pulled his hair.
That's exactly what I thought. I looked at him. I was like, his hair's long enough for us to choke him with his own hair.
We're all jealous because none of us have
I was like
good
real-
hair.
No,
or
you didn't
hair.
have it. He did not have good hair.
That's why
It
I
was
was
just
real
long.
mad because he had real good. He
No,
had long
he did.
hair.
It was just long. He didn't have good hair. It
he
wasn't
had
good.
better hair than I have.
No,
that
he
means
didn't.
it's the good hair.
No. His hair was not. It was like ratty. He was like a real shitty Jesus.
Dude, you're like if a guy had no legs and some guy had legs that didn't work, he wasn't like the fastest.
Yeah, but
runner, you're like, he doesn't have good legs. He can't run fast.
All legs are good legs if you don't have legs. You have hair though, motherfucker. That's a poor comparison. You do have hair. You might not have the strongest hairline in the world, but you still have hair. And no offense, I would take your hair over that guy's hair. That's how bad I tell you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for that weird compliment,
backhanded compliment.
Perspective.
Weird, uncomfortable backhanded compliment.
Perspective is needed sometimes. You needed this perspective because not all hair is good hair. I know you have a hair insecurity.
You're the judge, right, Dave?
I have an opinion. Yeah. I don't have skanga hair, but my hair's like real soft.
Yeah.
Skanga's got that good hair.
Yeah, a few people have hair like Skanga.
He's got that good shit.
Not
He's
fair.
got that real good shit.
FJ, your hairline's kind of running away too, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's fading.
Shit's falling out like it's on fire, huh?
Yeah. Rogaine stopped working. Just gotta hang on till October. After that, I'll shave it.
Are you going to fire it before it quits?
Yeah.
It's a good move. I like that. Eric Ott's doing the same thing. Speaking of which, we got to shave that thing, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. It's coming
Going
back
long.
in.
Yeah.
You know what I got to see? I'm a little bit like hesitant with the sun coming out. I don't want to get my head burned.
It's true, too.
That's what they got hats for. Wear hats. And sunscreen.
And you get some
I
weird
gotta go.
tan
I gotta go
lines
hat
and
shopping.
stuff.
I gotta go hat shopping.
We'll get that done. You should
We'll go to
get
the
like...
mall, Dave. I want.
Ask Skanga for one of his,
We're gonna go to the mall and go hat
one of
shopping.
his hats.
What are you doing tomorrow? We're off.
I'm working. I'm going to the city.
That sucks. Alright, well, back to... We got sidetracked with hair talk here, like, you know.
That was the last podcast. Let's get back to the...
So, FJ, what's your... I mean, I know, but everybody listening doesn't know. What's your base? What's your background here? What do you think your strongest attributes are for,
I mean,
for MMA?
I've been doing everything now for a little while, between wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking with Rick and stuff now. But I think that I just, when I get mad, that's when that's my strong point. to be honest,
I'm gonna be forced to agree with you on this.
No, I mean, it's not a good thing when you say you can take a punch because you really don't want to have to take a punch. But I mean, I could definitely bang when I want to. That's for sure.
We actually were talking about this because FJ and I sparred twice last week, and I'm like, man, you know, you don't, when we're sparring, you don't actually fight. Like, for whatever reason, when you're sparring, because it's your training partners or whatever, you don't go at it like the way you, not that you ever do in sparring 100%, but like, you still just for some reason don't take that switch even in sparring where you're like, alright, I'm gonna fucking throw today. Like, he has to get hit hard by something he doesn't like.
So, Vinny, if you come out and you, like, don't hit him, you could probably just, like, out-wrestle him, and he won't hit you back.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, don't hit him hard.
Yeah, if you don't hit him hard.
Just
like open hand slaps, if you land more slaps, you're probably going
I'll
to
tell you
win this
what,
fight.
getting slapped is the worst thing because I hate that shit. I'd rather get rocked in the face than slapped. I can't take getting slapped.
Even when slapping was popular, someone had to die. There was a gunfight after. But what do you like? What do you attribute that to?
I don't even know. I mean,
You should probably figure that out soon.
yeah. You mean the anger or the sparring?
Both.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, there's times I spar that I really throw, but I know what you mean with you. Like I'm more.
yeah. My exact words to you.
We go hard, but I mean I know what you mean with the
Yeah,
power wise.
My exact words to him.
Afraid of the repercussions?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I'm
like, you
trying to
don't fight
go
me.
hard. Like trust me. I mean,
Yeah, but you know you can go harder.
100%.
Yeah. I was yelling at him. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to just fight me one of these days. Like, we gotta try and spar hard at least once.
I
a week.
do. I feel like with you. I don't know.
I get it. You love me.
You're real handsome. He doesn't want to mess that face up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
I mean, I guess I get it too. Thanks, bud.
When I spar June 30th, I'll throw hard.
All right, that makes sense. So, all right, let's get hypothetical here.
Yeah.
You win on the 30th. You take the belt. What's next? You said you're gonna stay amateur, so you're gonna defend the belt.
Yeah, definitely.
What are you trying to stay active? Because this will be three
mean,
fights in a row. Like,
I wanted it to be 4 fights in a row because I wanted to fight in February, but that got backed out. So I probably would. I don't know when they have the next one.
September
Probably
is what I've heard.
yeah.
Like end of
See,
September.
I'm supposed to, well, I'm getting married in October, so I don't know. Depends on that.
What,
My fiance Kaylee would not like if I 13th, Friday the 13th.
Ooh, so that'll be like 2
coincidence
weeks
there.
before. You can fight 2 weeks before. I got faith in you.
September
It would be
15th.
why it's the end of September.
You'll be real skinny for you. You'll be in shape.
September 15th. So you got a month.
But then you also have a couple months before that to start training for the fight.
I would,
and then that cuts in the summer.
Here's the thing. You just be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that card.
I was 100%, even whether I fight in September or not, I was 100% planning on fighting the one after that in, like, let's say November or
it's December 1st.
December 1st. That would be perfect.
Okay.
So, definitely that one. Maybe September. We'll see.
So you thinking defend the belt then go pro, or you're not even thinking that far?
Yeah, I'm not thinking that far. I wanna definitely fight at least 2 more amateur. I mean, once you go pro, there's no
going
there's
back.
no going
true.
back.
That's true.
You never know who you fight your first pro fight. Everyone's 0-0, or not everyone, but
Well, you got the benefit now of the internet, so you can look people up and see
Yeah,
their
yeah.
amateur
Plus, you
records.
want to
sure.
get all like any jitters or any like weak points that you have in your game.
I have tons of stuff I gotta work
Your
on.
game,
for sure.
your weight class, your weight cut.
If I went, I would go 170, not 185 for sure.
That's
Which
a big-
I've done it three times at
Yeah, but
168.
you're not as fat.
Yeah,
you weren't
well.
as fat back then as you are now.
Oh,
Put the fork down.
the pretzels and gushes and stuff at night.
Gushes.
You're gonna have to.
what the-
You're gonna have to go to.
Get on that.
Bye.
I think,
like meal plan.
I think you'd be all right at 85.
I want to try your meal plan though. To be honest,
Like at 185,
it looks good.
you're not like weak at 185 though.
Nah,
I think that
nah,
you'd be
nah,
all
nah.
right for your first like couple of fights, and then
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
if you wanted to go down to 170, if you do 1 or 2 at 85. But I don't know if I'd recommend just like being like, I'm going 170 for my first pro fight.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel great at 185, strong, and I could make that weight easy. I felt
Yeah.
bad last time we were.
Oh yeah, we had to
the
go
day of weigh-ins, I see you at LA in the sauna, and you're dying, and I'm like, yeah, I just gotta cut like half a pound.
Like, I gotta take a dump and spit in a cup a couple times, and I'm good. You like went into the sauna very casually. I was like, I had already cut 7
I had to
pounds
go
of
get
water.
had to go get you like fruit snacks so you could have some flavor in your mouth.
Yeah, I was like ready to die. I was like, please go to the front desk and ask them if they have like anything with a little sugar, a lifesaver. I had to whisper.
Yeah, definitely. Things we do to
Wait till
fight.
they put that 195-pound weight class in. Once that 195-pound weight class comes, I'm taking over.
That was too much for me. I didn't like that.
Oh yeah, you did a catchweight fight at 195,
Yeah,
right?
that was bad. That was not fun.
was
Doesn't
a
seem
big dude.
to a normal person that doesn't seem like a lot, but
10 pounds. makes a big
195 the
difference.
night before, I'm sure he was at least 205.
Yeah.
I
was a
didn't
pretty
really
big
cut
dude.
any weight, and I was 193.
Yeah,
he was-
people don't really realize. They say, "Oh, what's a couple of pounds? It's not really a big deal." But when you have 2 guys that are very equal or close in skill level, and they fight against each other, that 10 pounds really makes a significant difference.
Huge difference. Huge difference. I mean,
That guy, he was real cool about it. He said, thanks for taking it, because he was off a knee injury, so he didn't know what weight he could make. And
He
I
was-
wanted
he
to
was a big
fight, and he
boy.
was definitely going to fight, so, at that point, I just wanted to fight.
Another
Take it when
thing,
you can sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
another thing. Your opponent for this fight, Vinny DeRiso, he actually fought your last opponent as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
oh wow.
Forgot about that, yeah.
That was a couple of years back at one of the cards at the Javits Center, because I actually cornered him for that fight.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
So I'm really excited to see like both of you guys now. You have an opponent in common. Both of you guys fought and defeated him. So I think this is going to be like a real good fight coming up.
Now, yeah, I don't know, the first couple of fights I've ever fought, I was definitely like, I feel way different now when I'm about to fight. I don't really have nerves anymore. Back then, I was probably, I know I was fucking nervous as hell. Now I look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, especially like Vinny. He's supposed to, he's good opponent. Definitely like to test it. Be fun.
this will be
be the hardest.
I think it'll be the hardest fight.
Which is what I'm looking for. If you want to go pro, I mean,
what
are you gonna do? Fight a bunch of guys who don't have that many fights or wins? I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere with that.
I think looking at it objectively, it's a matchup that makes a lot of sense. You guys are both very good. You're even
for sure, and that's why we accepted it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I know, like you said in the beginning, everyone, you, Eric, Rick, you all trained with him at Belmore, and
yeah, but it
makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I almost think probably it'll be better for both of you guys because you guys will get really good experience from a hard fight between the two of you, and then obviously after you train together, it'll probably be real beneficial. It'll probably be real good.
Definitely.
The last fight, I feel like now the last two fights actually like you have a pretty good routine now. Like you have a good team. Like who's there. Like
for sure,
you've had the same corner the last couple fights. So like that's got to help like relieve some of the anxiety. I know it's probably helping for you too, right, Eric? Like having that, just you already know what to expect. Like who's going to be there. You know what's what. Like everything's set in place. Like it's definitely got to relieve a lot of that.
There's
anxiety.
not one. Everything's covered. That's how I feel. You have the all-around MMA experience. Joe has the black belt and great wrestling. Rick's got the great stand-up.
Yeah.
There's nothing really else missing,
As like a fighter, you don't want to have to think about things that you shouldn't have to think about.
Exactly.
Like showing up and bringing tape and gauze to get wrapped, or who's going to tape your hands, who's going to warm you up. Those are all things that your team should be sort of handling for you, making sure that you have all the things necessary to fight, your cornerman's kit, your ice, all the different items, your scissors, everything that you're going to use. And, I mean, when you're fighting, like, you guys know how it is. Like, you get, like, a day or two before the fight, you're just sort of, like, in tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you're really thinking about, and have to think about all these, like, extenuating variables for really, really weighs you down. Like, who's going to wrap my hands? And it's like that I don't want to call it, like, fear of unknown, because you're not really fearing, but that unknown, all of those unknowns, if they're not all locked down, they're things that do wear on you. They break your focus.
For sure.
They break your concentration, and it's just not good for you overall as a fighter.
Yeah, it's interesting, seeing it from both sides. From when I was fighting into, I've been doing a lot more coaching and cornering lately. Cornering both of you guys as well. Seeing the difference it makes and all that.
Definitely.
The
not
difference
have to
is
worry
tremendous.
about anything.
Even I'd cornered you a fight prior to the last two as well, and that was kind of really before we had the same system and shit set up, and it was a lot different of an experience, and it's something I've definitely been paying a lot of attention to, because I want to make sure I have that implemented down the road when I'm coaching exclusively, and I have obviously I want to have a bunch of fighters, so it's something I've been paying attention to make sure that I have that all set in place for these guys, like that's all they know, like you don't get to see it the other way.
You're not having the bad experience where your corner man or the guy that's wrapping your hands has 5 other fighters or 6 other fighters on the card, and nobody's really there to keep your head where it should be. Like, you don't want that.
Yeah,
I mean, even as a coach or a cornerman, you shouldn't allow that to happen. It's just not not a good thing. I mean, if you have a guy there, if you're like hit pads with one coach, or you have one guy that you always like warm up with, and then that guy's not there the night, and you have to hit pads with somebody else that doesn't hold pads, and next thing you know, things are landing wonky and your rhythm's off.
You don't work in things that you've been doing for the last 2 months.
It doesn't get your confidence going either, which is it's crucial before a fight.
You're not able to feel like you can hit the pads comfortably. You're not hitting firm. You're not feeling able to like lay into things with your power. Then you're not going to go out there and have that.
Yeah.
Also, like one of the weird things that I noticed is every person has a role too. Like everybody. Having 3 cornermen actually really makes a big difference, in my opinion.
Huge difference.
Because there's a role that everybody fills, and as long as everybody's not stepping on each other's feet, it's the perfect role for everybody. I feel like
I have someone that comes to my fights that just is there to make me laugh and smack me in the face before my fight.
See, that's one
That's
thing
like
I could
the
say.
only thing they're good for.
But
they're great at it, and I need them.
The last two fights I've had at the space in Westbury, that like the whole little room we have when we're just chilling on the couches for 4 hours, hanging out, all bullshitting, talking. We're all there for one thing, but it just really makes you calm and just relax.
The atmosphere is a lot better there than the other shows that we've been at. The atmosphere there is much better.
Especially if you got good guys in your dressing room or like your little area where everyone's sort of like laid back and on the same like vibe and wavelength. I know like the last cards that you and I both fought on, it was just like super laid back. We were just sort of
like
chilling.
Me, you, Dave, Rick, Joe,
very low
everyone we
in
knew.
room.
Basically.
Yeah, there was
and there was
a
couple other people, but
they made it fucking weird. They got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, those guys were kind of off in their own little world. Like for the most part, it was all us.
Yeah.
Even though there was a couple different people fighting, we all knew each other in one way. We all trained together. All the coaches were cool, and it was really more like a hangout almost.
Yeah, that's
just
what
hanging
I mean.
out,
Like,
shooting
it
shit.
was great.
And it was like, oh, whose turn is it now? It's FJ's turn. You went out, did your thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right. There was like, I don't know, one fight between like your fight and my fight, or two fights. And I was like, all right, it's my turn. Let me go get my W.
Yeah.
It was good. It was real smooth, and having now a couple more things to compare it to, the difference is it's insane, and if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Definitely.
But so I'm gonna put you on the spot, and we're gonna actually have Vinny. We're gonna have Vinny on the podcast too, so I'll ask him the same thing. But what's your prediction?
Motherfucker. I mean, listen. I know he's at a good gym and he's training hard, and I know what he's doing. But I just feel like I'm just doing way more than I've ever done, especially like conditioning and strength and everything. I'm not lifting weights like an idiot. I'm working with George, and I feel great. I'm working, when we're sparring, like the other day, Saturday when we sparred with you, Finelli, and Ryan, like I felt great moving. I could have won another 2-3 rounds easy.
Well, it's good because Saturday we're going to do those extra 2-3 rounds.
For sure. I already texted you about it. I'm in there. I don't know. I mean, like to say I'm going to win. I just feel like I worked way too hard to lose.
How do you win?
I feel I have so much more confidence now when I fight from like working with Rick and stuff. Because I never had like a real stand-up coach before, really.
Yeah,
I had George and stuff, and then like Pantene and Jesse, but like those guys were all
nothing consistent and nothing one-on-one. Yeah,
and I mean, don't get me wrong, George. I wouldn't even be fighting if it wasn't for George, the letterer.
Yeah. But it's different because when you work with Rick, it's one-on-one, it's specialized. It makes all the world a difference, in my opinion. Sure. I'm a real big believer that you can't learn stand-up unless you're taking one-on-ones. I feel like it's very, very hard to learn in a group atmosphere.
You can't be competitive with it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to go and do a kickboxing fight against somebody else that knows what they're doing. Or you're not going to be able to get into an MMA fight and strike effectively. Like, I feel like I did my first MMA fights. I don't know that I landed like a good two-punch combination in any of my early MMA fights ever.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened in my first MMA fight. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in it. I was probably blacked out the whole time. I don't even remember if my hands were up.
Rage.
Yeah, I think I won on just pure I always think about that too, because like that's what I mean, like confidence wise. Like now I go out there and I'm fine, and I feel good.
You feel
and,
comfortable the whole
I can,
time.
I can move around. I feel great. Like then I don't even remember like being able to throw 1-2 right. Like that first kickboxing fight I did, you did it. It was like 8 of us.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were on that one, but like Aaron, Finelli, Alan, Tony.
It was kickboxing. No, I've never had a kickboxing fight, Jeremy, because I've always had kickboxing fights and showed up, and then my opponents didn't come, or they.
He's obviously real bitter about it still.
Yeah. I'm sorry to bring it up. Man.
I've never actually had a kickboxing fight.
I remember that
fight.
My first one, I threw like 500 haymakers in the first round.
Gash
like it was
out.
just a straight hockey fight. Just
Everybody
Yeah,
does
oh
that.
yeah. I remember getting up in the second round from the stool, and I was like, shit.
That's
I'm
everybody's.
fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked.
That's everybody's first fight, though. Everybody's first fight is just rock 'em, sock 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. So
You just hope the other guy is more afraid of getting hit than you are.
Another thing too. I don't, like I said, I know he's a tough guy and he trains hard. He trains a good gym, but just
it's good. You gotta have that
real,
confidence. I'd be mad at you if you said anything else.
nah.
But get specific. How do you win?
You motherfucker.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to this. We're gonna get a prediction out of both of you.
Yeah.
I win, huh?
Ideally, just give
How do
us
I
your
say it
idea.
without giving like a game plan away too?
Just
you
say
know
your
what I
ideal
mean?
victory.
Yeah, is it gonna be like
Like a
submit
TKO, I think.
TKO?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What round?
You're getting crazy now. You're getting
Standing
crazy
or
now.
on the ground.
Listen, either way, I know it won't be easy. That's for sure. I ain't overlooking him.
Well, don't feel bad because we're gonna ask Vinny the same thing, so we're gonna hold him to it. We're gonna.
I'm not cocky. I'm confident.
All right.
There you go.
What rapper said that again? Who was that?
No, he said I'm not conceited. I'm convinced.
Nah, he said I'm not cocky. I'm confident. When you tell me I'm the best, it's a compliment. Who said that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yarbs.
It's irrelevant right
Yarbs,
now.
help me out here.
So how does promotion side go for you? Because like we talk about this a lot. Me and Eric, fucking despise selling tickets and promoting a fight. You seem pretty damn good at it.
You know what it is, yo? I hate
Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
You just quoted. Get this podcast is over.
motherfucker.
You just fucking quoted Ja Rule.
That was a long time ago, bro.
Fucking asshole.
Alright, this song was also featuring the game Jadakiss and Fat Joe. So.
The next
Yeah,
line.
that's true.
The next line in this song is, "I got 100 guns."
Oh,
And 100.
Come on, everyone remembers that song, man.
I don't. I'm reading it right
You
now
would-
for
you
the
would
first
remember.
time.
Oh, that's New York, right?
Yeah.
I got 100 guns, 100 clips. Okay. But still, you quoted Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
I think he's bankrupt now, isn't he?
Is he in jail?
No, he ain't in jail.
He was at the Emporium a couple years ago, I remember. I was working at the Village Idiot, and
Oh, no. He is in a lot of trouble for,
Tax evasion.
No. He was,
Oh, the concert.
The concert.
Yeah.
So he created like this,
Like a Tomorrowland type
Like music
EDC
festival.
concert. Yeah.
Really? music
I
festival.
didn't hear about it.
and was supposed to have like the huge acts and shit like that. And it was like a destination. It was somewhere like in the fucking islands or something like that. So charged crazy amounts of money. Fucking took all this money from people. Crazy fucking money. It's supposed to be like catered and chefs and fucking like all this insane shit. And basically had nothing, no artist. Like the food was like they were handing out like half of a piece of bread with like a piece of cheese and some mayo on it.
Clams they just got out of the
Fucking
water.
plates.
Prison food.
Basically, yeah.
And they had tents that the people could like sleep in, and they flew all these people down to an island, and then none of the musical acts showed up.
Yeah. Like, they found out how shitty it was, like, the first day, and everybody that was supposed to be there in the subsequent days was like, no, fuck that. Were you kidding me?
Way to go, Ja.
Fuck that shit.
Fire, wasn't it called the Fire Music Festival or something?
It's crazy. But yeah, about the promotion thing, listen, I'm just like you. I hate having to call people, meet people, and sell tickets. But the last two times, like especially that it's in New York, like I used to have like what 20, 30 people come to AC.
Yeah, you have.
I have a bunch
cooler.
of
Your friends like you more
I
than
have a bunch of
mine do.
degenerate friends though, because they really went to gamble. But it's the half-hour car ride to Westbury, watch 10, 11 fights. I don't know. It's been easy the last two times. I haven't had the people meet me. It's real easy. Nick's gave me a bunch of tickets. If I didn't sell them, I give them back. Goes back to Nick being, good promoter, helping out.
So this is the gourmet food that they had.
Oh my god, you weren't even kidding.
We're looking
though.
at 2 pieces of bread in a styrofoam container with cheese on it and just some
Just
not even melted cheese.
And they said that some people paid upwards of $250,000 for their tickets.
Well, if you're paying that to go there, if you're paying that to go there, you deserve
in
it.
the Bahamas
Oh my
that the
God.
music festival was supposed to be. Yeah. It says, but when festival goers, some whom paid up to $250,000 arrived on Thursday night, all hell broke loose. The festival grounds appeared to be still under construction. The promised luxury accommodations looked more like FEMA tents. And the gourmet food looked like this.
Oh, man.
This is a Maxim story. Fire Music Festival.
So I think now you have to walk out to a Ja Rule song for this one.
Nah.
Yeah, that one with Ashanti.
Yeah.
Everything, little thing that you do should be between you.
Yeah.
That's the one that you should come out to.
I've always joked about coming out to Why Can't We Be Friends.
We were joking about that
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you should go with Ja Rule instead.
Yeah, I'm big.
Nah, I
into
gotta keep my
between me
my
and
hard
you.
rock. Gotta keep
I'm gonna tell Nick to play this shit. I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna send an email to that DJ. I'll make like a FJ Puglia at hotmail.com to be like, hey, I'm Jeremy Puglia. This is what my walkout song's gonna be. I'm gonna email the DJ because I gotta email him for my walkout songs. I got that email.
I wouldn't be mad at all.
Yo, people really need to look this up. They had like school buses, like busing people from the airport to the fucking ground sites and shit. And these tents really do look like FEMA. It's fucking ridiculous. This is amazing.
I'm pretty sure Ja Rule was in prison too, just recently.
He was.
He
He
right?
was. He was upstate. I remember.
For what? A tax evasion?
I think it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
tax evasion.
But this was just a couple of months ago. This is April 28th.
Nobody
Looks
likes
like
to
he's
pay their
going.
taxes.
Looks like he's
He's
going
going
back.
Yo, from the people that he fucked over, it looks like he ain't going back. He's going to the ground.
Oh, like
If
he
you
fucked
spend
over
that
some,
much money
like,
for that
some
anyway.
like guys that are gonna come back and take his nuts off.
Yo, if someone's spending $250,000 on a fucking music festival ticket, pretty sure they have some connections or something that you don't want to fuck them over.
One out of the million people that were going.
Yeah, someone is. That is not good. Fucking Ja Rule.
So, you don't have any social media to plug.
Nah, I don't want it, man. Don't want it. I talk to everybody. I text everybody that I want to talk to. I don't want to see anyone else's shit.
That's
I
fair.
used to go on Facebook and just get mad.
So nobody can get in touch with you. We can't really promote you too much because you have nothing to plug.
Just come see him fight.
Just come on.
That's what we're here for. That's why you have friends.
Yeah,
we
thanks,
got
man.
we got the vehicle for you. Not that you need any help promoting it. You don't have social media and you get more people to your fights
Yeah, you
than I
have
do.
tons of people always at your fights.
Yeah.
Your fiance will share our podcast
Yeah, she will.
And
She
plug
already
you.
said she will.
on social media. So thank you, Kaylee. We're thanking you in advance because Jeremy won't promote himself.
Maybe I'll make a FJ Instagram.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Just post pictures of dogs, just pugs.
Yeah. Pugs all day
Pugs
long.
eating and stuff.
All right.
Puglia, doesn't that mean boxer?
No,
That's-
pugilist.
Pugilist.
Yeah.
Pugilist. So close, but I don't know if I'd go with the pugilist over here.
Maybe brawler.
He's the angry guy.
The angry bearded guy. You're gonna grow an epic beard for this fight as well.
I don't know if I have enough time. I should have just kept the one I
Should
had.
have kept that. Was pretty.
You know what it was? Rowan Gee and stuff. Getting pulled.
Yeah.
That gets me
I can
mad.
imagine
I'm gonna get that clip up of
that.
your.
Just pull his fucking beard. That's what you're gonna do. To
That
get mad.
gets
She
me
trimmed
mad.
it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that clip up of you with the lumberjack beard, just picking that guy up over your head and flinging him onto the ground like a sack of potatoes. I think that's gonna be the first vid that I get up of to promote this podcast.
I jumped out of my fucking seat in the corner for that one.
Yeah,
I was like,
I have the video.
Yeah.
Someone, I don't know who it was that took it, and it was right behind you, and you jumped up, Rick jumped up.
Yeah, me and Rick both jumped up and looked at each other like, holy shit. It was actually pretty fun. There was a moment in the first round when you got reversed on the cage, and the kid actually got off like one or two punches, and Rick turns to me, he goes, Now he gets angry. And sure as shit, you got angry and just started unloading. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Well, let's hope that you don't have to take a shot this time to come out and do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so
Yeah,
you have no social media, nothing to promote here, so we're going to wrap this up shortly. You got anything else you want to get out? Or
Thanks for having me. Definitely wanted to come.
nothing else? Man of few words.
Come to the fight.
Few words and heavy
Be a
fists.
bunch of good fights.
So once again, June 30th, Triton fights, Westbury, New York. Come see Jeremy Puglia fight
FJ.
FJ Puglia fight Vinny DeRiso for my my middleweight belt.
And
Yeah, thanks for giving it up.
FJ's got the most handsome corner in all the land.
Yeah,
Myself and
yeah.
Rick Schaefer.
That's debatable.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's only
Well,
because
yours-
I'm not cornering anyone, so.
I was gonna say, I hope you're not cornering me. If
Yeah,
you
but
do,
I'm
you
going to
do.
corner Vinny against you, so. I'm going to tell him your game plan. TKO, Vinny.
We're actually going to play this for him when he gets here.
I've actually purposely not trained with either one of you. Not that I don't think I could really help either one of you because I'm not built like either of you.
Yeah, we're pretty much built the same, man. It's
You are. It's going to be like two clones fighting each other.
That's why I think it's a good fight. Yeah.
I'm
interesting.
excited, man. I just
We're going to try and goad Vinny into talking shit about you though when he gets here.
from what I hear, it doesn't sound like he's that.
Nah,
guy.
Vinny's not that guy. Vinny's a good dude.
You're pretty solid. I mean, like I said, Dave said earlier, you guys will probably end up all training together at some point. Because eventually we'll all be professionals, and we'll all be training with each other to go fight those other guys from the non-islanders.
The contiguous 48.
Fuck those mainlanders. Scared of the water, scared of the sea. On that note, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Six
man.
Borough Podcast.